special patriotic paint schemes. There's the famed 3-car. Let's head down to Michael Waltrip. He's with today's Share a Coke, Share a Ride driver, the driver of the 3, Austin Dillon. Michael?
Thanks, Chris. Austin Dillon, you have a new crew chief. You have an awesome patriotic paint scheme on your 3-car. We have more traction compound in the corner. What do you have to do to win this race tonight?
Stay in it. It's 600 miles, keep ourselves moving toward the front and keep up with adjustments. Our Dow Chevy's been pretty solid for both practice sessions yesterday, and I'm just looking forward to this race. This is the greatest day of racing, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
You know, I know you love saluting the NASCAR fans and sharing messages with them. Tonight, they're sharing a message with fallen heroes. They're going to hold up a card during pace laps to show their support. Who are you supporting tonight?
I'm supporting Joshua Harris, a Navy SEAL who's on our windshield tonight, and like I said earlier, this day is all about tributing those who have given for our freedom, and freedom isn't free, and it's really cool to see all the different military branches out here tonight.
We appreciate you and the remembrance that your team is giving to Joshua. Have a good night.
And wish him luck today. Big day, as he mentioned. Tonight's Coca-Cola 600, the final event. Special day for auto racing. And for the 7th straight year, a triple header beginning in the south of France and in Monaco. And a great looking scene there with the weather fine for a green flag
boat down there.
Double park too. How about once they got going, Sebastian Vettel, a key pit stop on lap 39.
Yeah, Raikkonen started from the pole, but on this pit sequence, Sebastian Vettel was able to lay down some fast laps. This is actually contact from Jenson Button to Verline, sending him into the wall upside down. He was okay.
Yeah, first win there for Ferrari since 2001. Vettel's hero, Michael Schumacher, was the last guy to win there for Ferrari. So big day for Vettel.
On to the Indy 500 and the early crash here. Another big wreck.
Scary incident. This is Scott Dixon. Wow. Makes contact with the car, flies through the air with Jay Howard. This is the big one at Indy.
17 to go here, late in the race, yeah.
This is Fernando Alonso. Ran a great race, but unfortunately lost an engine late in the race.
And Takuma Saito holding off Helio Castroneves. There were a couple of different maneuvers in the final stages. Saito's first win.
Yeah, it was a nice battle between Helio Castroneves and Sato, but Sato had the power at the end.
Yeah, second year in a row for Michael Andretti for one of his cars to win. So big day for the Andrettis.
Martin Truex Jr., big night for him, maybe starting 8th. Remember, he led a record 588 of the 600 miles to win last year. He's the only person to have driven for the cycle, winning all 3 stages in a race. Did it earlier this year in Las Vegas. Tonight, he'll have the challenge along with 39 other drivers of NASCAR's first ever 4-stage race. So that gives us a chance to put 4 important questions on stage with our drivers. All right, you can both comment. Joe Gibbs Racing, the Toyota's winless this year. They had 6 wins at this point last year. Will they be a factor in the playoffs, or more specifically, give me one of the drivers who might be a factor in the championship if they will be?
Well, first of all, yes. I mean, I think they've been off to a slow start. They will get better as the season progresses. I think Kyle Busch is the lead driver
for championship.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've gotten their arms around the new car. That's a brand new car they had this year, and I know it's supposed to be better, and I think they're finally capitalizing on that. Kyle Busch will be hard to beat. I'd say he's a guy that'll make it to the playoffs.
All right, tonight, of course, NASCAR's longest race, the Daytona 500, the Southern 500. But should other races be no longer than 400 miles? Would you like to? You're shaking your head.
Well, I used to feel that way until stages. I really enjoyed the stages. I think they make the races more exciting and go by, or seem like they go by even faster.
Yeah,
so I'm fine with it.
I just think there's iconic races that you need to leave alone. The Daytona 500.
Right.
You can't shorten that to the Daytona 400, you know, or the Coke 600 here, or the Southern 500. Those races, their history, they're part of who we are. I say leave them alone.
Leave them alone. All right. For Ford, 5 wins in the first 11 races this season, but a Ford hasn't won here, the Coke 600, in 14 races, 14 Coca-Cola 600. Who's the best chance for Ford? I know you talked about
I think we feel
Harvick.
the same way.
Yeah, right? We feel like Harvick starting on the pole tonight. Those SHR cars, they all got new cars over here this weekend. Boyer, they're all good. And Kurt Busch, Kurt's running well too. So all those cars are running well.
What about the Penske guys?
Well, yeah, maybe Keselowski. He hasn't shown a lot of speed this weekend, but he did an All-Star race last week.
Okay, and finally, Dale Earnhardt Jr., we mentioned that he hasn't, this is 19th try, hasn't been able to win this race, but he, this week, openly got help with Jimmy Johnson, the 48 team, essentially saying, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm throwing out everything we had, I'm going with what what Jimmy Johnson has.
Well, hard not to go with Jimmy Johnson's setup and Chad Knaus. Those guys have been so successful. They're really fast in the All-Star race. I think that's given them a head start this weekend. He qualified pretty good. If that top group comes in, watch out for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, they started off in practice not very good, so I don't know if Junior adjusted to the setup or maybe they adjusted the setup a little bit to him. But like Jeff said, if that top group comes in, that 88 could be tough tonight.
He'd be a popular choice, but in Las Vegas, a 40-1 long shot when the week started to win this race. And we'll talk with Dale Earnhardt Jr., NASCAR's most popular driver 14 straight years, in his final Coca-Cola 600, but some candid thoughts reflecting and looking forward.
Hello, my racing friends. Here we are again. Drivers crave me. Drivers want me. Drivers need me. I laughed at your soft tire options. Chuckle at your feeble attempts to produce more grip. All will fail. The decider will be I. The undefeated is me. Because I am clean air. Doubt me at your own risk.
Mr. Clean Air.
It's a horror film, I think, that everybody wants. And we're trying different than the sticky material now up at the top of the truck. How will that affect tonight's race?
Oh, it's going to affect things in a big way. I think it's going to come in. I think we're going to see multiple grooves, unlike what we saw in the All-Star race.
I think the start's going to be something you might not want to miss because they did put that traction compound down. You can see it on the track how much darker it is. It needs some running in it to make it really come in and work right. And they're going to have to do that in the race.
Oh, so they had some practice. Of course, some drivers ran out.
Oh, they redid it. They redid it last night. They put an extra double coat on it last night.
And the goal is to create more grooves for passing, right?
Yeah, once the track temperature cools down, there's so much grip that you can just run right around the bottom. So this allows more grip to be in the middle lane, the higher lane, to allow them to get 2 and 3 wide. I think it's going to be a very exciting race.
But it's going to be treacherous in the beginning.
Another element to figure with the 4 stages in the race. Our June races will be over on FS1. So this is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s last race on Fox, and it's been quite a journey watching a young man grow old school. Beyond the stats, Dale Jr. stood tall when he was needed most. As a student of NASCAR's history, he seems to have right now a good grasp on what he's done and what he'd still like to do.
I've always reflected back on my career. It's fun to remember not only the moment and the experience, but the people that were involved.
I used to think that this was my town.
There's a couple decisions that I made in my career that I probably shouldn't have been a part of making. We had a great thing going with Tony Sr. and Tony Jr., won 6 races, and then we split up. And I think back to that time, and I'm like, what in the hell were we thinking? Like, why did we do that? I was a part of making that decision, and should have had nothing to do with it because I was too young and stupid to be able to make some decision like that for a company like DEI. But there's a lot of little things like that that I'd have told myself just to stay out of it. That's where my mind was at. I certainly would have told myself to buckle down a little bit more.
I sang enough about myself. So if you're looking for some bad news, you can find it somewhere else.
I can sit down with Landon Castle or Matt DiBenedetto. It's as easy as I can sit down and talk to Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, any of those guys. You know, I like to, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for here? You know, you can't be friends with everybody. And there's guys that you're just not going to be friends with. But there's a lot of respect I think I have for all those other drivers that I race against. And, you know, I don't look at myself as better than anybody. You know, I don't look down on guys or, you know, think somebody's not as important as I am.
Ride the ship down, dumping.
To win a championship on your final year, I think that's what every athlete wants, right? That's asking a lot, but I have to be okay with walking away without a championship. I made the decision to retire, whether we won a championship or not. I want to be remembered by my fans as a great race car driver, also a guy who was honest. But what people will say about me as far as who I was as a person will always stick with you and always matter. You know, when they put you in the ground, they're not going to be talking about the wins and the races you dominated. They'll be talking about the person you were. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep driving cars a little bit. I'm going to take a little time off, lay on a beach somewhere, probably go and have a few beers in a bar somewhere. But in the end, I got my eye on some other things.
But wherever you are, I hope the high road leads you home again. Earnhardt Jr.
His introduction moments ago here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, his last Coca-Cola 600. Boy, how refreshing, and broadcasting may be in his future if he wants it. But I think we were all young and stupid at one time.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of Jack Nicholson in the movie A Few Good Men. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
He can handle it.
He tells it like it is. He speaks right from his heart. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. That's what he thinks. That's how he feels.
You know why everybody likes Dale Earnhardt Jr.? He's so popular because everybody wants to be his friend. He's just that likable guy. Love how candid and honest he is and how much he's matured.
Yeah, we'll watch the rest of this year play out for him. Really enjoyable hearing those thoughts. Are you guys up to the broadcast booth for a long, fun night, an eventful night? You got sticky material. You got weather changing. The grid walk is coming up next. There's Brad Keselowski getting ready. Drivers' last thoughts before they hop in the car. On Fox, getting ready for the Coca-Cola 600. Let's head down to Michael Waltrip and the grid walk. Michael.
Thank you, Chris Myers. Tonight's all about racing and remembering. Brad, I know this is a special night for you.
It sure is. Memorial Weekend is always a big weekend for racing, but it's NASCAR Memorial Weekend, and you think about our sport, it was created by people who came back from World War II and loved cars, loved speed, loved adrenaline, and they made this awesome sport, and it's a privilege to get to honor them today and continue the tradition.
Awesome. Talking about speed and adrenaline, the 2-car got away from you last night. Looked like it was a handful.
It'll be better today.
All right, looking forward to saying it. Talked to Brad a bit, and he said that traction compound's kind of got everyone's attention, wondering exactly what it's going to be like when they get into turn 1. Clint, you're on the bottom when you head into turn 1. They put some more traction compound on the turns. What's that do to your psyche?
So is the traction compound on the bottom or is it on the top?
They put it on the top.
So the bottom's probably not the place to be in a start. I'm looking forward to it. It's a big night. It's been a big day of racing. Glad to be a part of capping this great day off.
Did your Royals win last night?
You darn right they did.
You darn right they did. Martin Truex Jr. was the story here a year ago, made history a year ago. You're spotting them 7 spots tonight. You think you can do the same thing again this year?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's track's been tricky this weekend. We're going to try, that's for sure. And excited to have Colonel Lieutenant Yates on the car. It's such an honor to be here this weekend to just salute our military and what they do and what they've done, and pay the ultimate sacrifice for us. So it's a big day. We're going to try to have some fun and see what we can get.
We appreciate everything you do, right, Martin? It is a big day, and we're going to have dinner in Charlotte here with the Monster Energy Cup guys. Stay tuned.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything they learn making tires for the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what rolls into yours. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Special opening ceremonies for a special Memorial Day weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats. And veterans, render a hand salute as the 82nd Airborne Division Color Guard from Fort Bragg, North Carolina presents our nation's colors. Here to give the invocation is decorated World War II U.S. Army infantryman and former prisoner of war, Private First Class Harold Frank.
Thank God I'm American. Let us all pray. Thank you, dear Lord, for all of your many blessings and for saving my life. Lord, bless our military. For without our military, our armed forces, we would not have the freedom we cherish. Keep them safe and return them to their families. Lord, be with the drivers and their teams today. Guide them through this race. And along with the fans gathered here in Charlotte, I pray that all return home safely tonight. Thank you for the freedom we all share as Americans. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you, dear Lord.
Black ammunition! Hold! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Cease fire!
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome the 82nd Airborne Division All-American Chorus.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the
pictures, grateful, thoughtful, proud America. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. Hey, race fans, you can experience plenty of racing action at Sonoma Raceway June 25th for the Toyota Safe Mart 350. Go to SonomaRaceway.com for tickets and enjoy. You'll see that race on FS1. Pre-race ceremonies continuing here on Fox. The 58th edition of the Coca-Cola 600 will be woven into the tapestry of the greatest endurance test in NASCAR. With all the details covered, the focus turning to the elements working in unison to reach the checkered flag. First and forever to be known as the 2017 Coca-Cola 600 champion after such a patriotic ceremony. And there's the pole sitter, Kevin Harvick, who along with Kyle Busch on the front row, nearly 1,000 laps led, but neither one of them have been able to get to victory lane. Our points leader, 24-year-old Kyle Larson, who has a victory, starting at the back of the pack with Michael Waltrip. Chris Myers getting ready for the Start Your Engines call.
This is bonus racing here, Chris Myers. The 42 car is very fast, and starting the back, it's going to be fun to watch him race through. Chase Elliott, I think he's on the verge of getting to victory lane tonight. Could be a big night for the 24 team.
In the famous 24 car, Denny Hamlin, part of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas that have yet to get a victory. Again, they had 6 at this point last year.
3 of those Gibbs cars starting in the top 6, along with Eric Jones, a 5th place qualifying effort. He's had a lot of speed this year, Chris. He just had a lot of issues as well.
And the record setter, Martin Truex Jr., they'll be talking to him on the pace laps, getting ready. 588 of the 600 laps last year to win. But this is a 4-stage race. He's going to have to be at his best. Let's head down there for the call we want to hear.
Please welcome Laurie Hennessy, Senior Vice President of Entertainment for the USO, and Channing Tatum, star of Steven Soderbergh's upcoming movie, Logan Lucky.
This Memorial Day, the USO and Coca-Cola are proud to salute America's military and their families, especially those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of our country. To give the command, here with me today is Channing Tatum, actor and producer of the upcoming movie Logan Lucky, opening nationwide on August 18th, and proud supporter and tour veteran of the USO. In honor of the sacrifices our service members and their families make for this country, please join Channing Tatum in saying the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
Later tonight, 600 miles later, when the sun is set at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we'll find out who the best is on this Memorial Day weekend. Let's head upstairs. The guys who will take you through it all, Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, and Mike Joy. Mike?
Thank you, Chris. Hi, everybody. It was bright sunshine here a moment ago. Now we got one of these big, fluffy clouds, the kind you hope for when you're qualifying. So a little nicer up here right now. By the way, Logan Lucky is set right here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's a heist movie, and it takes place during the Coke 600. So I think you'll enjoy it. And I think we'll enjoy tonight's race. Since 1960, the recipe has not changed. 400 laps to make up 600 miles. But what has changed, now they do it at 200 miles an hour. Jeff, you've won it 3 times. What kind of preparation do you need as a driver to go 600 miles and win?
Yeah, Mike, we know that 600 miles and 4 hours behind the wheel of a race car is a long time. So you would think that these drivers would be preparing for an endurance race, take it easy for the first couple hundred miles. That's just not the case anymore. These cars' reliability and performance is the best that it's ever been. These drivers have had to focus on their fitness because they're going to be pushing hard every single lap throughout this entire race.
Darrell, how did your attitude help you? That's not a loaded question. To 5 Coca-Cola 600 wins.
Are you saying I had a bad attitude?
I never said bad.
That's your job. Look, I'm an emotional guy. I get excited. It's your job to keep me calm. It's your job to keep those emotions in check. You have to play with emotion, but you cannot let emotion play with you. Stay in the game. Don't give up. And my golden rule, do not beat yourself.
It is America's most solemn holiday, and it's a very emotional Memorial Day weekend here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
While the Coca-Cola 600 is happening,
Why do we think you can do this?
they're pulling a fast one.
I looked it up on the Google.
I need you to focus here. This woman needs containing.
Logan Lucky, rated PG-13.